Grace, let me ask you what it's like watching your life compressed into a film.
This is about the second time that I've seen the film all the way through. You always bring me up the stage before it's over. You know, to find that your life means something, it's a wonderful experience. And I think that the reception this film has received is a sign that a lot of people want to make their lives meaningful. So many Americans have spent their lives trying to advance in the system. It's been very dangerous for the world and for the planet. And for Americans to receive this film as they have all over the country and identify with it is really very important. So I don't think it's about me, it's about us.
Grace, let me ask you, as you've been taking this film around, what struck you about the way the film has been received?
Well, what strikes me the most is who comes to the film. It's like some of the most diverse audiences I've seen ever in film festivals, or we've only played some film festivals, and young and old, people of all colors, all stripes, and I think that's sort of what Grace brings together and what she represents, and it really means a lot when she says it's not the evolution of Grace Lee Boggs, it's the evolution of us. And I also feel when I have gotten the reactions from people, it's sort of the same thing I felt when I first saw Grace Lee Boggs speak in a small room at UCLA back when I was in graduate school. I just wanted to, have that experience again, or recreate that, what it's like to be in a room with Grace Lee Boggs for everybody, because it's something that's too precious not to share.
Let's take some questions from the audience. I'll call on you if you raise your hand. The question is that there's a scene near the end where Grace asks you about frustrations and conflicts in your own life, and you talk about having to think about that a little bit more. And I think that just the question is, have you given that more thought?
No.
It was a question about the role of revolutionary rage in the evolution towards a new recognition, she said.
Rage is not something that I really welcome. One of the great misunderstandings about Malcolm is that people think of him as an angry person. Actually, he's one of the most gentle people I've ever met. And I think there's something about revolution and evolution and not being dependent on the system, which is very different from rage. I think that we have tended so much to think that by denouncing the system and being angry at it and raging against it is a way to destroy it. It tends much more to destroy us and to pit us one against the other.
The question is about recent developments in Detroit, the takeover of the city, and has that affected any of your projects or your outlook on the city? The question was what you think of the recent movement about around the U.S. immigration system.
Well, I am the child of Chinese immigrants. And I think that the idea of restricting immigration and not welcoming it is a very destructive idea. I think that the migrants, like my father, my mother, myself, my brothers, and all of us, I think people like us have done a great deal to expand what it means to be American.
I met Grace 12, 13 years ago, and so obviously through time I've gotten older, I've evolved. I've actually got to experience evolution while making the film, the evolution of Grace's life. I've been able to see people in the community from Julia Putnam, when she was just a volunteer organizing Grace's office and all those papers, to starting the Boggs School, which just opened in September, actually, the Grace and James Boggs School. So, being able to see Detroit evolve over that time, see the people, see Grace evolve, see the community evolve, has had quite an influence on me and pushed me to make the film evolve and be a better filmmaker. And it's also, personally, every time I go to Detroit, I think about where I live, which is Los Angeles, and my place in that city. So, the part in the film where she talks about she stayed in Detroit for so many years and what that meant really hits me, especially that, it makes me think a lot about what I can do. This film will be on the POV documentary series in 2014, so I hope you guys can check it out.